Hello YouTube, my name is Plazukas. Before I start this video, let me just say that I spoke to Saintontas on Twitch and asked him if he's under NDA, being threatened or otherwise silenced by Tectone. He denies all of those allegations. However, we know that he was banned on Twitch for 7 days. I don't know if Saintontas tried to appeal it, but he was basically banned for the entire 7 days. 7 days and some minutes after, apparently, because there were some technical issues about it going minus minutes down. And then he finally did get back on shortly after his ban was lifted. Now, I've speculated, rightly, wrongly, that essentially he was banned because potentially the genocide fallout and there might have been some orchestration between something in the back end, but it's not been confirmed, and it's really just speculation. However, if you look here, and you see this, genocide, mythic talent. Congratulations, genocide. Guess who else is in mythic talent? Tectone. Guess who isn't in mythic talent? Saintontas. I don't know about you, but every time there is this conversation, every time there is this debate about who you can go after in the Gacha Space, who you can't go after in the Gacha Space, Tectone always says, you can go after anybody. Except him, obviously. You can't ever go after Tectone. Or Genocide. We know that Saintontas did go after Genocide. And that beef is still ongoing. That has not been settled. If you watch the recent Gacha cast, which I don't, but I saw little clips here and there of it. Okay, because that's how everybody gets their media nowadays. I saw some pretty, some pretty stuff there going on over there. Okay, let me just say, I'm not going to be specific here, but you should go check that out. Saintontas, he's a star. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest with you. If this was Star Wars and I was Emperor Palpatine, I would try to get Saintontas on the dark side. If I was Luke and I needed to strike back, I would try to get Saintontas on my side. I'm not going to lie. The guy is pretty compelling. You know, I don't know him personally. I don't really watch his content. But I do think he's got something special that, if used correctly, he could dominate the Gacha space. And it may actually be a good thing. Because he seems like he does content, unlike Tectone, who only does drama. But anyway, going back here, let's get to the actual point of the video. I have seen a recent decline in Saintontas' online profile. Ever since he was banned, although his rhetoric hasn't changed, he's been still willing to push back. And when he has conversations with Tectone, he's not actually feeling like he's held back any. Because when Tectone asked him about genocide, asked him about Maggie, asked him about all these people that he has issues with, he basically says that he still has issues with them. But something doesn't seem right. Something doesn't really line up. So remember, I asked him on Twitch if he had an NDA, if there's any intimidations or threats or whatever else going on, law stuff. He said no, there isn't. But if you look here, April 30th was the last time he posted on Twitter. He says he doesn't really use Twitter. But if you look at his replies and you go all the way back here, you're going to see a steady cadence of activity. Going back all the way for the month of April, April 22nd. Okay, there was a bit of a dip here, but April 20th. Okay, so we had a good, 10 days of activity here. Then we dip off for 7 days. Then we're pretty active here and there. The timeline's a little weird, April 14th, April 13th, something like that. And we keep on going down here, April 8th. So there was some dip again, April 9th, a couple days here and there in between. And then we go here, April 7th, 6th, and then March. So it is sporadic. But as far as the month of May, we've got nothing. 0 posts from anything. And when was his actual suspension? Right here, the 29th. So ever since he's been suspended, it seems like he has definitely fallen off. And I don't know what that is. Maybe that's just him not trying to start beef, or maybe it's something else in the background. Maybe it's some conversations that have been happening because Tectone's already said that he slides into all these people's DMs, and we know that he orchestrates a lot of the drama, a lot of the discourse that happens in this space because he is the big bad. He is the Thanos level threat that exists. But honestly, if I was Saintontas, and I'm not a Kurobot, I would take this opportunity and run with it. I do think Saintontas could be the new leader of the Gacha Space. Now, I don't think that's a compliment because I've already done my tier list on the Gacha Space and what I think of it. So ultimately, I'm not a fan of the Gacha Space. But because Tectone is there and is going to continue to play all these new games that come out, and I say play, quote unquote, he doesn't actually play anything. Tectone is a drama farmer. That's all he is. Okay? He can say he's a gacha person, plays video games. He doesn't. He never plays them off stream, rarely, ever. And he rarely ever plays any gacha games anymore. He's already said Wuthering Waves is not on his top 5 list of games that he plays. And yet he takes all the money from that company, all the sponsors, all the back-end deals, just like Atsu did with Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact and all the other games. Maybe not Honkai Star Rail, but Genshin Impact. So I think Saintontas should step up. I think he should blow up his Twitter. I think he should stream every day if he can. I don't know if he works another job or not or whatever else. I think he should blow up all of his social medias. I think he should go toe-to-toe with Tectone, call him out for all the hypocrisy that he has in this space. And Tectone has a lot. And I'm not saying it would be easy to peel off that audience. I'm not saying it would be easy. But I think over time, people that are there for the gacha, which I think there's about 2,000 of them, might go over to Saintontas. The other 3 to 4 are going to stay in Tectone's, it's like Trump's supporters. 33% are going to stay with Trump regardless of what he does. He could literally mass casualty a town and Trump still have supporters. That's the same with Tectone. The drama farmers, the drama laterons, they're all going to stay with Tectone regardless. But there are a good percentage of those that will transfer over if you do gacha stuff, if you actually do cover it, and you show the hypocrisy of someone like Tectone. I don't know what's going on with Saintontas. I hope he gets back on Twitter. I hope he's back on social media. I hope he streams every day regularly. Hope he continues to do guides and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you. I hope he does more new stuff covering gacha. Because as soon as he does that, he can talk about Tectone. And as soon as he does that, he can grow his audience even more. My name is Bazookas. If you like this video, like, subscribe. Saintontas, if you're watching this, maybe we should set up a date so we can have a conversation. I'm just saying. You can DM me as well, not just Tectone. Bye for now.